This is Run the Numbers. My name is Jason, and the video you're watching here is part of the warm-up series. So that means, yes, this ride is getting a little bumpy, and we're on the go and we're walking through the lovely streets of Los Angeles, California, where this video is taking place. And this video is also part of the 100 videos challenge. And what that means is that this video is one of the 100 videos that I am creating and publishing up onto YouTube, and doing all that for 100 videos in 100 days. So the whole effort here and the challenge is that it is quite a fast pace to put out all of this content, but the whole effort and the reason to do all of it is to make sure there's a whole lot of content for you, my wonderful audience, yes, you, so that you can be helped along on your personal finance journey. Okay, so with that said, with that being covered, let's have a topic that does help you on your personal finance journey, and that is today we're talking about risk and helping you kind of think through a little bit about your own personal risk profile and what are some of the things that are good to think through when identifying if in fact you're risk averse, you're risk loving, maybe you're something of a combination of those, because at times you can be one and at times you can be the other. You can be on one side of the spectrum of loving risk, and on the other side you could be very much not wanting any risk at all, wanting to play it safe, wanting a very say conservative investment, for example. So yeah, we're gonna jump right in and talk about that. Well, the whole adage here, of course, to bring top of mind, to have us all think through, of course, is that with the bigger the risk, the bigger the potential return. Of course, you could take on a whole lot of risk and it might not work out, but in fact, if you take no risk and you don't get in the game and you don't invest, you don't have any savings, basically you don't do any measure to actually build your wealth, that of course is a way to sort of play it safe, is a way to kind of sit it out safely on the sidelines. But when doing that, you're not actually going to get the gains of, yes, building wealth. So you do want, in some measure of what is comfortable for you, you do want to play the game. You do want to get in the arena. And what that might mean investments that build your cash just through interest accrual. It might mean taking investments in the form of stocks, equities. It could also mean bonds. It could mean groups of stocks, so ETFs, mutual funds, entire portfolios. It could be other investments like treasuries. It could be all sorts of things. I'm not trying to say an exhaustive list of all the different things that you could consider. I'm just pointing that there, of course, are different investments, and they carry each investment carries an inherent level of risk. And you have to kind of understand what that risk is. Sometimes that is a difficult process to truly understand the risk you're getting into. And then, of course, see if that level of risk matches your risk tolerance, what you're willing to risk. Let's put it that way. And now this isn't the only criteria to understand, what's possibly a good fit as an investment, as a way to build wealth, if that's savings or whatever it may be. There are other considerations, the levels of liquidity that you might need, the time horizon involved, all kinds of, there are other things to put in. So I'm not trying to point to this as the be all and end all and say that this is the only thing you need to consider, but it is chief among them as something to consider when evaluating a potential investment, holding onto a particular asset. Okay, so you might now then sort of be scratching your head and be thinking, okay, well, how do I kind of know how much risk should I take into what consideration? What are the things that could be beneficial to me? There's so many elements to that. I'm not gonna kind of get into the weeds there. You got to understand, what your situation is, what are your particular needs. For example, if you're a younger person and you have a whole lot of years, if not decades ahead of you, to possibly recoup various, I'm gonna pull over here, there we go, just to be polite and share the sidewalk. So yeah, if you're younger and you're able basically to recoup any potential losses, then yeah, you might kind of stick your neck out a little bit more so than if you, in essence, can't afford to make the same losses that are a potential outcome with the riskier bets. Okay, so that's one thing that I just want to point to, just as to say, you could think along the lines as to, what is your situation, and then also, yeah, just your personality. If you're a gambler, if you love to see the narrow, the slim outcomes that could give you the big rewards, and that's something that you thrive in, that then of course points to your risk profile. If you're like, nope, I've always got to save it safe, I'd rather do the long slog of slow and steady investments, then that's something that's telling of your personality and makes then your risk profile in and of itself right there. So all those things need to come together, and these are things that, yes, you should think through, but at the end of the day, the thing I want to part with you here is that it's important to think through and kind of know yourself, to know how much risk you enjoy taking on. Understand you have an obligation for each and every potential investment, each and every potential asset to hold, that you're going to try the best to your ability and to the best of what is available to you to understand the risk that's associated with the particular investment asset. So yes, you're going to have to do the work to the best of your ability, make that call, make that determination of the level of risk that is there. Sometimes it might not be easy to understand the risk that is associated, but you're going to do your best, and you're going to want to try to kind of think through this. So this is something of a call out to put a lot of critical thinking to this, to understand the risk that is there, and to know that there's kind of risk in everything. And that if you don't get into the game in some measure, if you sit out on the sidelines, that is, I guess, a way to go about it, but you're not going to build wealth. And the idea here with the personal finance is you want to with some measure, understand the risks, maybe smart risks to take, and go through a process of playing the game to build wealth and improve your personal finance. Okay, so with that, I'm going to leave you there. let you go through that critical thinking on your own. And I gotta run.